We are here live. I guess people are chatting. So this is our first ever webinar. So thank you everyone for coming on and joining us for this exciting topic about the Google Business Profile and how to dominate those Google search results for your business. So with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Brian. He is going to introduce who we are, what we do, and then we'll dive into the topic at hand.
All right, yeah, like Adam said, welcome everyone. Really glad to see you guys here. So glad that you're going to be able to find some benefit here, and I hope you do. So first off, yeah, we are the Marketing Clerics, and just a little bit about us. So here we go. So we bring kind of just two different areas of experience here, and about 10 years plus of each one. So Adam here comes in with 10 plus years of SEO, web design, paid ads, Google Business Profile, all that kind of experience from the IT end of things. And so that's really going to be where we focus today. Absolutely. So he's got a big expertise there. And then my side of things, I bring in about 10 plus years of management, from manufacturing to retail to other places as well. Oh, thanks, Adam. Yeah, we kind of, they're the well-balanced team of Adam's ADHD, providing the kind of creative ideation and the finding the good subtopics and getting out there and really grabbing those new ideas. And then my OCD comes in and helps to finish those and keeps a steady eddy going. So we work really well with our clients to make sure we got the brand new ideas come to them and that we continue on with those ideas. So. And so for our values, so at level one, we provide Christ-like services and support to all of our clients. We really center that on our Christian belief that we've been gifted with these talents and these gifts, and we want to bring those to others around us. So then on top of that, we move into, we have fun and laughing ourselves from time to time. I mean, you got to do it. If you don't have a sense of humor about it, and able to laugh and learn from your mistakes, you're never going to get better and improve. So building upon that one, then we go up to just a conviction, a very, very strong conviction to provide meaningful results for all of our clients, and basically saying that our first and foremost is that we want to help you grow your business and not at the, and not to the expense of us, that we want to make sure you're growing, and that we continue to help you prosper through that. And finally, on the top there, people before profits. So it leads right into that we value the individual, value the community more than we value the profit that we're going to make from it. So we're always looking forward to that, looking toward that, and centered towards that. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Adam, and we're going to get started with the topic at hand here.
Thank you, Brian. So the topic today we're going to talk about is Google priorities and Google search when it comes to local businesses. And there are 5 priorities that Google sets when they are recommending what business to show in certain search terms. So the first of those is accuracy. So they're looking for the right type of business. The business has the hours listed, phone number listed, and it has a website. Next is proximity, location. Google prioritizes businesses that are close to that geographical location of the searcher. And so every time you do a search, you're tracked where you're searching from. So if you are searching from your phone over in Inver Grove, you're going to find locations closer to that city. Next is authority. So Google prioritizes businesses that demonstrate that they are the subject matter experts in the category that they're listed in. So if you are a baking shop, you're the expert in all things bakery. Trust. Google prioritizes businesses that publish the same primary information across the web. So we'll talk about citations and listings and what that looks like. And finally, activity. Google is a machine wanting to collect more and more data every single day, every single hour. And so Google rewards active businesses that they do all that kind of stuff in their profile. And so we'll talk in depth about what each of these mean here. And as Brian says, if you have any questions during any of this, feel free to post them in chat. We'll take them as they come. Brian will help moderate that conversation. So All right, the first is the business type. So Google has two primary business types. You have a service area business or an address pin location business, like a storefront or a business office. And Google is making some recent shifts and recent changes in their algorithms to support businesses that provide areas of like service to an area to be listed not in the map as an address pin, but listed as a service area where they serve. And we'll get into that, what that looks like. But if you look at our address here as an example, so we have an office in Hastings, and this is our address pin. This is where we serve. We also have service areas in all the 7-county metro area. So if we did not have an office, say if I was working out of my home or if Brian was working out of his home, we should not be putting an address and a business profile at our home. As our second example here, I've erased all of the evidence to protect the innocent, but this is an example of a locksmith who might work out of his mom's basement. And so we don't want to tell our business prospects and our potential clients where our home address is and where we serve. And so service area business is where we want to do. We want to set this up. Here's a construction company as an example. It serves kind of that southeast metro. And you can see the hover line of where it is. And let me see, I don't have a laser pointer. Yeah, maybe I can do that. So here, so it serves this area, and it doesn't actually have a pin where an office is, versus some of these other construction companies that have offices, and they're located in the Hastings area, and so they could be at a disadvantage where people are just, if someone's searching up on St. Paul for a construction company, they're not going to see the results from over here, but they might see this company. Because if they optimize other ways, then they'll show up there, and we'll talk about that as we go. Second is authority. So Google rewards businesses that have subject matter experts that show that they're experts in their field. How you can do this with your Google business profile is reviews. So first thing is having reviews that relate to and speak about the service that you provide or the products that you sell in your storefront is really going to help not only boost your authority, but it will also broaden the search terms. And we'll see that when we do some examples here. Second for authority is services or products. So you want to list your services or your products. Third is questions and answers. So if you, any profile you have has a question and answer section. Fourth is blog articles. And so blog articles are not something you can post to your Google business profile, but it's something that will directly relate to the ranking of that profile. So let me pull up another window here, and I'm going to attempt to change my screen share. All right, so everyone should see this now. So I'm going to just demonstrate some of these pieces of authority. So reviews first. If I let me actually search for a toy store near me. So what you can see with reviews is this review. This is a review from someone. You can tell by its little person profile. This is a really cool selection of toys and super nice staff. So it took my phrase of toy store and called out a review mentioning toys. And so if you were like a local chiropractor, shout out to Dr. Emily Hawk, you might have a review that mentions the word chiropractor, and that might populate up and bring your rankings up. And so how do we help that when we can't really control what our customers are saying in their reviews. Well, we can use kind of tools that when we're requesting for review, give them a little like say, hey, when you're reviewing for us, we'd love it if you would include chiropractor, or we would love it if you would include where you're from, or your city, or that kind of stuff, just so it really helps other people find our business if you do that and include those in your reviews. So it's really important for service area businesses, because if you don't have a PIN, you want to have those other factors that are going to help you with your ranking. So that's reviews, services or products. So let me just pull up Milner here and see. I don't see any services or products in that one. Let me pull mine up here. Ours up. So we have, if you pull up services, so edit services, this is where you can list out the services that you offer. And each one of these services can be detailed out. So you can add a custom service and have it listed out. You can actually add a description to it, link that to your web page. You can see when I clicked on this, there's services that were changed based on feedback and other sources. So periodically, if you go into your Google profile, you'll see, depending on people leaving reviews or interacting with your business in certain ways, they will recommend different services to be added or removed. And so you want to keep an eye on that. But having those services built out for service-based businesses is key, because those are the terms people are searching for. So they're searching for clog drain repair or that kind of stuff. They're not searching, they will search for plumber, but they might also search for those other specific services. Where you are not a service-based business, you would have products. And so products is where, if you're a storefront, you've got kind of your top selling products, you can list those out. Pulling up an example of that, I think SC Toys actually has a good example of that in their profile. So, oops. Yeah, so see what's in store. They've got a listing of different products that they have, and then it actually takes them to Google Merchant Center just to show this is a Google specific setup and integration. So that's products connection. So that's another authority builder. The next is Q&As. So typically questions and answers are prompted by potential customers wanting to know more about the business, about your services and what you offer and that kind of stuff. But it is also an opportunity for you as a business owner to prompt yourself. So you can ask your own business profile a question. What is a great toy for a 4-year-old at Christmas? And you can add your own answer to that question. And that will help demonstrate to Google and to others that you have authority in the area or in that area. So that's Q&As. Blog articles. So blog articles are going to be a little bit more advanced, and what the new trend is with AI and that kind of stuff is called topical dominance. And what that means is you demonstrate your authority by having the most content, the most blog articles about any given topic than any other company or any other website. And it's gotten to the point where you want to keep in mind user experience as well, but having more content, people aren't going to typically read through the entire blog, but those AI bots are going to read and find the answers to specific questions and curate them in the AI search queries. And so you'll see businesses referenced in here. So if I search for when is the best? So this AI response from Gemini has baked into it references. So if I see more here, I can see this is a reference to a website. I can click the link icon to see where it's referenced from, and I can click on to visit that website. And so is this content the most riveting and exciting content ever? Probably not, but it is content that catches and answers a specific question, and it pulls into the AI overview. And so that's the latest trend when it comes to authority, topical dominance in that. And how does that relate to the map search results? Well, it all kind of comes together, right? So your Google Map listing, and I keep picking on Emily here, will have references to your website. So it knows exactly what's listed on your website. It also has references to social media profiles. So anything you post on social media, how active you are there, will also have a direct correlation to authority and ranking results on Google Business Profile as well. So that's the subject of authority. Let me switch our screen here. Actually, I don't need to because there's nothing on there. So trust is the next one. The trust is the maintaining all of the information across the interweb. So let me share my screen. I can show you that. So what this looks like so I'm searching Hot Chiropractic as a brand, and I should see directory citations of Hot Chiropractic. So she's got one on Yelp. She's got a Facebook. She's got Hastings Area Chamber. Woo! She's got Line Doctors Network, MapQuest, Care Credit, Nextdoor. And so what this does is it tells Google, hey, we've got a legitimate business. The address matches as we're looking through all of these different listings. The address matches, the phone number matches, and everything is all kind of in sync. What doesn't help is if you have different addresses listed, you have different phone numbers listed, if possibly your website is different. All of that kind of leads to confusion with Google and a lack of trust. Because what happens is there's a lot of businesses, not necessarily in the chiropractic space, but there's a lot of businesses in like the plumbing, the home services space, where people are just creating Google profiles and collecting the leads and the phone calls and the messages and the emails, and they're selling them to local providers. And so Google wants to de-rank those and make sure that those profiles get punished. And the legitimate ones, the businesses that are local and have an eye for the community, show up first. So that's trust.
Hey, Adam, just put in here real quick more question when we got a little bit of the space. Leslie wanted to ask, when writing the blog articles, do they need to be written with specific keywords to be picked up by Google?
That's a great question. So in terms of the blog article concept, we want to have topical trees with keywords. And so if you are providing a service in an area, so I think your accountant, so adding, if you have accounting in a specific area, you want to have that specific service and then build out topical trees of different blog content, blog articles that all link back and connect to that main service, if that makes sense. And so the keywords that you're really targeting in that blog or in those blog articles are really going to be related to that root sense of this is the service that I'm providing.
Awesome, thank you. And then Michelle was able to clarify a question for me. So kind of mentioned before that Google Sites pulls from social media. She wanted to know if that, like, how does it do that, or does it pull from the links you post in your Google profile, or is it able to connect those? How does that work exactly?
Yeah, so this is a recent change. Before, Google profile automatically pulled your social media links based on the company name and the address and the phone number. And so if your information is accurate across those different social profiles, it would automatically pull these profiles. So this is her Facebook profile. It also pulled her Instagram profile. And so based on the address, so you see the address is listed here, the website is also listed. So it was able to find that information. So let's see. Now, Google has actually given you the ability to define, I'm going to do this on ours because we manage it. You can define your social media profile. So if you go to edit profile, at the very bottom, nope, not there. Where is it? And now I'm looking like a fool here. Edit services. Settings. Yeah, link accounts. Or no, that's not it. There you go, social profiles. I knew it was in here somewhere. So you can actually go in and social profiles, you can add all the specific profiles that you have, and they will show up in the list on the bottom here. And yes, Michelle, it can read the content that's public. So anything that's on your profile as a business, if it's public, Google can and will read it. They'll scan it. Great. All right, so that's trust. The final priority for Google is going to be activity. And so all right. So activity means keeping your profile updated and engaging with your profile on a regular basis. So it could be updating your hours. So Google will actually prompt you if you're the owner of the profile. They'll actually send you an email saying, "Hey, there's a holiday coming up. Can you want to update your hours? Is your business going to be open or closed during this? If you're going to be open, don't just ignore it. Actually go in and say you're going to be open for that holiday because that counts as a change." Second is review responses. So every time you get a review on Google, Google wants you to respond within 24 hours. I know sometimes that's unreasonable as a request, but there are systems that we use that will automate that if we wanted to. And you can also get Google on your phone. And so if you're somewhere remote and you get a notification that you got a new review, you can just pop into that Google app and hit respond. Photos. So Google wants you to add new photos to your business profile as often as you can, and adding new posts or updates like a social media profile. So let's look at what those actions look like. Okay. So the first is holiday hours. So if you go into edit profile, if you didn't get the email or whatever, and you just want to check your hours, you just edit your profile and you go into business hours. So this is kind of main hours. You can do special hours. So this is an upcoming holiday. So I can just click review, say, hey, I'm open or I'm closed. We're going to be open. Brian doesn't know that, but we're going to be open. And I'm going to skip that. And then you can also go in here, you can add other dates too. So if you have a specific holiday or company holiday that's specific to your business that you're going to be closed or have special hours, you can set those and add those to your business profile. And this is actually something that a lot of people don't take advantage of. And especially for like storefronts and people wanting to actually visit the store, it's important to have these hours adjusted and done on a regular basis, because otherwise people don't know if you're open or not. And if they don't know, they're likely not going to come. The other thing you can do with hours is you can set specific hours. So if your business type has specific hours during lunch or delivery hours or takeout, that kind of stuff, you can add those specific hours here. An example of this would be like one of our clients is a self-storage facility. So they've got gate access hours, but they also have office hours. And so we want to have office hours listed, but then also gate access hours and when anybody can come access their storage unit. Review responses. So responding to reviews is going to be important to kind of include those keywords, those services that you offer. If you know what the customer, how they interacted with your business, respond in that way. And so they mention what they did and how they were served by you and your business, because that will help inject some of that authority as well.
Real quick, and inject here real quick, Adam. I got a question from Wendy. Again, studio downtown. So shout out to Wendy there. Right? Wondering about how she should list her hours, rentable hours or hours that she's accessible for inquiries. Currently, she has them set for rentable.
Yeah, so for that, for your case in specific, in particular, I would list your business hours are probably going to be the hours that you're available for inquiries. And then the access hours you can set as the rentable hours. So when people can rent the space. Good question. All right. So review responses, injecting keywords specifically to the services, respond within 24 hours, be friendly. If you get a negative review, God forbid, respond within 24 hours. And when you're responding to a negative review, you're not responding in spite, you're not responding in anger, you're responding with love, with service towards that individual on how you can make their service better, how you can make their next experience better, or how you can fix their current experience. And so that's a great way to take a negative review, spin it. It's been talked about all over the web, but it's really something that takes a fine art to try to do. And it is hard as a business owner. You have passion for your business, and when someone leaves you a really nasty review, the first thing you want to do is just like respond in anger and frustration because they didn't show the whole story or they didn't share the whole thing and how they're wrong. And but the internet doesn't care. They don't care about your side of the story as a business owner. They care about how their future experience as your customer is going to be. And if you demonstrate that as a business owner, you care about the customer and their experience and their next experience, then it provides a lot better trust and likelihood that people are gonna respond positively. So next for activity is photos. So in the Google Business Profile, we're self-admittedly very bad at this one. So if you aren't good at it, don't be ashamed. You can click this Add Photos button and add any kind of photos that you have of the business. It could be recent customers that you have an experience with. It could be a new house that you sold or one that you're listing and that kind of stuff. It could be a family of that you really impacted with with chiropractic care, that kind of stuff. So make sure you get permission to post anyone's public photo. But the other neat thing with photos is that any customer can also add photos. And so they can add photos and reviews. They can also add photos of the business just in the profile. And the downside of that is you can't approve or decline them. So you have to, you can report ones that are not relevant, but you can't like take them down off of your profile. So wanting to put photos up, you want to put those probably once a week. Just kind of go in, add a handful of photos. Just don't make it overly complicated. And then finally is posts. So when it comes to posts, you can add any number of types of updates. So you can, let's see, I guess it's just showing one type of update for me. Previously, you could add promotions, you could add highlights and that kind of stuff, business highlights, but it looks like they recently changed this to just show as updates. And so what this is an opportunity for you to show activity in the Google profile. Does it lead to conversions? It brings your listing up towards the top more the more you post. How we treat updates is we post. So for our business in particular, we focus on kind of a region at a time or a city at a time, and we post content around our services for that city. And so do that each week, and then shift to another service, another city, that kind of stuff. Because these will also pull in and be a ranking factor if you're a service area business on the different areas that you serve. The other thing that you can do with this is if you take pictures, if you are going out to people's homes to service items, and you take pictures of the service job at the home, it's geotagged to that location, and then you post an update with a description of what you did in the city that you did it. Add a button that says learn more or whatever, call now, and post. It will start to pick up that you are providing services in this area, and that will improve your Google rank for that profile or for that area. So that is that's activity. Any questions on that one? All right. So with what's left of the time, I wanted to just do a couple of demonstrations or just kind of look at different profiles and where they're ranking and why I think they might be ranking higher or lower. Just to give you an idea about what you could do as a business to improve your rankings. So with that, I will, I'm going to open a new tab because I'm going to keep that one open. So I'm going to search for plumber near me.
Hey, while you are doing that, getting them prepared, Leslie had another question saying she's a remote service provider. How can she broaden her customers?
Great question. So yours is going to come down to setting up the service areas first. So if you haven't done that already in your profile, under edit profile, going into locations and areas and setting your service area, you can add up to 20 locations in here. What I would recommend is finding the top 20 cities in your area that aren't super competitive, but that are populated enough that will provide you with work. So I would start there, and then with the list that you pick, then you start on your website and you create location pages for each of those locations. And a location page is going to be like accounting services. I forget where you're located, but we're in Hastings. So accounting services, Hastings. And so in that location page, oops, and I am not sharing the right tab. All right, sorry. Going back over here, business location service areas. So you can see that. So the location page is going to have the keyword of the service that you're providing in the city you're providing it in as the main header. And then it's going to have sections that are like more detailed about the service, the different, like why you should choose your business over others, customer reviews that might mention that location. So if you have any that mention that location, put those in there as a priority. Having pictures from that location. So if you go to that area, take some general pictures. For us, we have like an iconic bridge. So we'll take a picture of the bridge. It'll be geotagged to the Hastings location. Put that on that page. And then you have an embedded Google map. And that Google map is going to have the city kind of outlined in it. And it's going to have points of interest, various points of interest. We use a tool called WP Go Maps, and that is a plugin that will allow us to create a custom map that has an area, but also allows us to put custom points of interest. And so we could put things like adjacent service providers or local coffee shops or other points of interest in there, and have them link to that external site. And so what all of this does is it combines all of the different factors, and it provides you, it makes you the authority figure in that area for that service. And so you would do that times 20 if you expand through that area, and eventually you'll start to see that you'll get more results, more traffic from that area for that service. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so back to this. So plumber near me, just going over this. So sponsored, these are paid results. So Paul Bunyan is paying, Herbert is paying, Mr. Reuter is paying, McQuillan is paying. So these are all sponsored plumbers and their results. Then we get the map pack. So this is the top 3 map packs. You want to be in the top 3 of the search results, because anything else, people are either going to keep scrolling down to look for organic results, which are these, or they'll click on more businesses, and then they'll get a whole new listing of businesses and options. So taking a look at some of our top ones. So if I look at Majeski, and they're sorted by relevance. So this is kind of the default sort by. I can also sort by distance if I wanted to, and it'll pin and so show that the Hastings Heating and Air is actually closer to our pin location, to our search location. But I might flip it back to relevance. So if I look at, some of these, so Majeski is in here. They've got an actual, I think they have an office. Yeah. They're out over here. So they've got their business website. They have a listing of their services. So this is all their services. They have service areas. So they're serving Hastings. They've got their address listed there, their review summary, their description. And then Google also inserts web results. So this is like related web pages to this business profile. So that is Majeski. And then they also have, well, they only have one photo, I guess. Well, no, they've got quite a few. So first is if we look down, so we've got some here like early plumbing and heating, for example. They've got less reviews, 5 reviews. You'd think they'd be up higher because they have 25 years of experience listed. They have their phone number. They have services listed. It's not as robust as Majeski's, so that could be a factor. Their reviews, if I look at the reviews, none of them have been responded to. So getting those review responses is important. They don't have any photos, and they don't have a website. So they don't have any updates. They don't have a description. So those are some of the things that this business can do to improve their visibility in Google Map Pack. So let's take a look at one other. Let's see. What's another one, Brian?
How about auto mechanics or repair services around me?
Okay. Let's see. So one of the other things that you'll notice, so if I just did auto repair, it will pull out here. But if I did, let's just say how to change my oil. So this keyword is not actually a local keyword. So what that means is it's not pulling up the map results because Google doesn't think you are looking for someone to change your oil. Google thinks you're looking at how to change it yourself. And so one of the things that we want to keep an eye on is when we're targeting keywords, we want to make sure we're targeting keywords that are local, that bring up local results. So the other thing I can do is I can say oil change, and that brings up the local map result. So if you have a question about whether your keyword that you're looking for, the service that you're offering is a local, if Google thinks it's local, just pull up a search engine, search the keyword, and if it shows the map, it's local. If it doesn't, then it's not. And so it's a good way to identify which keywords you want to target for your Google Business Profile. We'll do other webinars on your website and ranking keywords for your website that's not Map Pack. But for now, we're just focusing on the keywords that we want to rank for in the Map Pack. So from here, we've got proximity is one of the top ones in here, and you can see that based on what I'm seeing. So Crossroads is the farthest away, but it's also a square dot, which means it's sponsored. So they paid for this placement. The next one is Oil Line, which is just down the road from us. Paramount, just down the road from us. And so Google is recognizing that when someone wants an oil change, they don't want to have to drive 10 miles away. And so they're going to show the ones that are closest first. And you also see that this has oil change in one of the reviews. This says oil changed in the review. And sometimes they'll also show services. So if you list a service or a product, they'll show that in this little snippet under here. So, yeah. Any other questions? I think that about wraps the conversation. So, just to recap for everybody, there we go. The top 5 things are making sure you have the right business type. So if you are a local storefront, if you accept customers at your place of location, if you have an office and that kind of stuff, you can show your address. If you don't show your address. Hide your address, and then you're a service area business. Google is really cracking down on that with video verification, it's called. And so if you try to make any changes on your profile, chances are you'll get you'll have to be re-verified, and you'll have to record a video. And any service area businesses that operate out of their homes or have their home address as the listed address have to have permanent signage on the outside of their home that identifies their business is operating out of that home. And so you don't want to do that. Just shift over to service area businesses. You'll notice that a lot of the other map solutions, Apple Maps, MapQuest, Waze, they're all leaning towards businesses that you can go to versus businesses that are kind of providing a service to an area of the area. So second is proximity. So businesses with storefronts and offices are going to be prioritized for the most part for services that require people to go into the office to meet with someone. So accounting or chiropractic, that kind of stuff. For service areas like roof repair or plumbing services, those are kind of a hodgepodge. So it could be a local shop, local business that's listed as with an address. It could also be a service area. Third is authority. So getting reviews, having your customers leave the services that you provide in your review, putting in the city of where you provided the service in the review, all help with that. Services or products, making sure your profile has a listing of the services or products that you provide and keeping that updated. Q&As, asking yourself as a potential customer what an information about a business and answering it, and writing authoritative blog articles about the services in different areas. Fourth is trust. So maintaining a consistent name, address, and phone number across the web. So that's you can also include web address and email address into that. And then 5 is activity. So activity is the one that's going to take the most time, but it's going to provide a lot of good results. So hopefully you enjoyed the webinar and got a lot out of it. We appreciate you taking your time on your busy afternoon to join us friendly clerics. So have a good rest of your afternoon, and we'll send the replay out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.